Hey everyone, we are here on Family Food Live, and I'm excited about today's because it's really easy dinners.
Yes, these are so easy. You only need 3 ingredients.
I love that. So we are Family Food Live. I'm Holly Homer from Quirky Mama and Kids Activities Blog, and
I'm Chris Houston with Burnt Macaroni.
And Chris is at Burnt Macaroni and also Kids Activities Blog. But tell us exactly where Burnt Macaroni is and how we can find you on Facebook.
Yeah, Burnt Macaroni, my website is burntmacaroni.com, but I'm also on Facebook, and technically I think it's Burnt Macaroni 1. But you can look for me because it's associated with my name, Chris Houston. And same with Instagram and Pinterest and Twitter.
And I'm going to put those links in right now. And as you come in, please introduce yourself. And yeah, like for some reason, oh, there it goes. I was going to say for some reason I wasn't able to tag you, but I am. So
okay,
good.
Cool.
So that I just put the tag to her page too, so you can just flip over there and see. So,
perfect.
So we are. I feel like we still have a vent on.
Yeah, we've been doing a little pre-cooking.
Yeah.
So
I just want to keep the noise down as I think it's
so
actually the cooking. So
yeah.
So we're doing 3 ingredient dinners,
right,
which are super quick and easy for your family. And what's cool about these is they really are simple, and you can do a lot of substitutions if you don't happen to have that ingredient, or if you happen to, or if your family happens to like something different.
Right, and the whole idea is to make sure that you can just go in your pantry and grab these things. A lot of things you can keep in the freezer that'll stay well for a really long time.
Right.
And then you've got spaghetti and things like that, just kind of like a different take on spaghetti. And so we're really hoping to kind of like inspire you now that for most of you school has started.
Exactly.
Or it's about to.
So all the recipes and resources are on Kids Activities Blog. You can go to kidsactivitiesblog.com and click on the Family Food Live logo. Or I just added the link in the comments that go directly, and I'll do that in a minute once Chris gets started with the first recipe.
Yes.
So I'm excited. Let's get going.
Okay, well the first thing we're going to do is a baked ravioli. And so all you need for this recipe, and I'll go through all 3, frozen cheese raviolis. You need some marinara or pasta spaghetti sauce, whatever you like. Doesn't have to be homemade. You can get it in the jar and have it ready to go. And these stay in your pantry too forever. So all of these things, and the cheese, you can even freeze the mozzarella cheese. So if you go on like this huge shopping spree and you just want to get yourself set for a couple weeks, everything will stay, especially in the freezer. We always freeze our shredded cheese when we buy it because we always look for it on sale, and when we get it, we put it in the freezer and it stays really, really good. Okay, so, and the only really thing you need, tool you need is this baking dish. 9 by 13, or really whatever you have, or how much you're going, or who you're feeding that night. You could probably do a smaller one, a bigger one. It really just depends on who's at your dinner table that evening. And so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to get this spray. And we are going to spray it down because we don't want anything to stick to the bottom. And especially with these glass containers, they need something on the bottom. But I love these sprays because it really takes away all that work. Remember when you used to have to butter it? Some of you may still like to butter it, but the spray just makes it so much easier.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's ridiculously
It is
easy.
ridiculous. Yeah. So what you're going to do, let me first tell you, we have already gotten our oven going. You can go 425 on this one, really depending on how good your oven is. Because I know ovens are all different. If you have a confectioner oven, it's different. So we're going to start by just kind of layering the bottom, almost like you would be making a lasagna. But we're not going to make lasagna today. We're going to make ravioli.
Ooh, that looks so good. I can smell it already.
I know. I love any pasta. Like, I would just like be thrilled to have every night because it's great comfort food. It's great. Most kids will eat anything pasta related.
It's
if
so
they
true.
can. Yeah. And you know, now with all of those gluten-free options, if you you know, you can have your pasta even if you're gluten-free. So that's what I like about pasta.
So yeah, Jennifer says we love pasta, and another Jennifer says hi from Chicago, and then
Hi.
Donna from South Africa.
Nice.
Glenda from Kentucky, and Linda from Smith Falls, Ontario. Laloni's in Oklahoma. And Amanda says, I didn't know you could freeze shredded cheese.
Yes.
I know, you totally can. You can get that.
Yeah.
That's one of the items you can get in bulk and just put into smaller little containers if you want to ahead of time.
Yeah, or just leave it in the bag. We just keep it in the bag, and it really thaws out very quickly.
It really does. In fact, you don't even have, you could put it in the refrigerator if you wanted to start using it, you know, kind of pulling it out, or you could just defrost it on the, it doesn't take long at all. Like I said, just a few minutes, so it's pretty safe to do it on the countertop because it's so quickly defrosted.
And a lot of times what I'll do, if you're planning your meal, especially in the morning, you can take all this stuff out and it'll be ready to go by dinner time, or even at lunchtime you can take it out.
So, Missy says, hola, from New York City, South Bronx.
You're kidding, I was born in the Bronx.
Cool. Oh, yay. Matt and Melanie say, hello from Pennsylvania. We love you guys.
Hello.
And Janice says, hi from New Jersey. And Donna says, hey, wait to see what you make. She's from Maryland. Oh, Samantha says her daughter loves to eat frozen shredded cheese.
Oh, really?
I bet it's like really cold. I never thought about that.
I never thought about trying it. We should try it.
Michelle from Minnesota. And, Callie says, my granddaughter thinks you're not live. Can you please tell her hi? Her name is Maria. Or Mariah. Hi, Mariah.
Hi, Mariah. We are here.
I know. We're not an illusion. And then we have, let's see. Who else do we have here? We have Kristen from North Carolina, and Jen from UK, and Maria from Brooklyn, New York. And Crystal says hi, and Angie from Kentucky, and Cindy from Alabama, and Mary from Texas. We're in Texas too. In fact, it's lovely outside right now.
It is. It's not. Yeah.
It's not 3,000 degrees, but it might be a little bit warmer later.
Yeah. We know how that 5 o'clock temperature shoots up.
All right. So what do you need to make this?
Okay. So we're using frozen raviolis again, just because it's so convenient to just keep everything in the freezer, and so you don't have to. You could use fresh raviolis if you'd like. But we're just layering it right there on top
of the marinara sauce. And we just have a pretty generic marinara sauce.
Yeah, but you can use your favorite, whatever you want. If you like to use some that are a little heavier and chunkier, you can use that.
And now you're just layering on some mozzarella cheese.
Yes. So we're just going to do a layer, because we're going to do 2 layers of actually the raviolis and the marinara. So if you want to help Holly, you can help me. We're just going to layer this on. And this is really kind of not anything you need a specific recipe for, although I think if you look at Kids Activities blog, there is, just so you know how much you need.
It's easier when you go shopping, you know, but yeah, once you get going, you'll be like, I can do that.
Yeah.
This is kind of like Cheater's lasagna.
Yeah, kind of, in a little way it is. And you can use the meat ravioli if you'd rather the meat ravioli. We're just going to use cheese today. Okay, so then we're going to go back and do another layer. If you want to scoop that out, and we'll do another layer of the sauce, and then another layer of the raviolis.
Are you going to do another layer on the top, the sauce?
No. Okay. What we'll do is we'll just do the cheese. Yeah. I mean, you could if you like it really saucy, because you can use that whole jar for this recipe.
Yeah.
And you know, just depending on what you like, it's really. We're just kind of like showing you like a guideline for this recipe, but if you would prefer it saucy, you can always add it.
I do like a good, it has to be the right combination though.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, Erica says this is an easy meal her teens can make. I love that. And your kids, you know, even little kids could help lay these out.
Yep, exactly.
And Marcia's from South Florida, and Eileen from Newport, Rhode Island. And Rochelle says she makes this all the time. I also add hamburger.
That's a good idea.
And then use that in the layers. That's a really good idea.
I think I changed my mind. I think I might do a little more sauce on top.
Yeah, and those of you worried about the angry faces, just, it's okay if they're getting their aggression out on this. If that's what it takes.
They're angry at food.
Yeah, they're angry at food. Or maybe they're just hungry. Or they're hangry. Yeah. I did an idea for, Cheryl says I needed an idea for dinner. I'll make this with the organic products. Oh yeah, we love those too. Those are awesome.
Yeah, and I like I don't know if you can get organics spaghetti sauce or pasta sauce at your grocery store, but they don't add any extra sugar. And that's why we go for that one all the time.
Yeah. And Desiree says, could you use an Alfredo sauce? Absolutely.
Sure.
Whatever works. And that's what's so cool about so many of the things that we show you is like, it's just a jumping off place for whatever's in your pantry. If you have Alfredo sauce in your pantry, use that. Don't go to the store.
Yeah, we don't want you to have to buy everything, but I think this is just a good place to start. Bless you.
Yeah, Jamie suggests that you could use pepperoni slices and make it kind of a pizza dish.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
I like that too.
Yes, we are, Angie. We are going to pull it out of the oven in just a little bit.
Yes.
So how long do you bake it for?
It's going to bake for about 20 minutes.
So that's why we started with this one, so that we could put it in the oven.
Yeah, there's a couple that we're doing early on that take a little bit longer, so that's why we have them first.
But you can see how quickly this came together.
Yes.
And like literally your kids could do this.
Yeah, exactly.
You could be like, hey, why don't you make dinner? Let me tell you how.
Yeah. Now if you wanted, you could do another layer of another cheese on top. It doesn't have to be just mozzarella. Parmesan cheese would be great on this, especially if you like that little bit of crusting on top.
So I'm going to put this in the oven, and we have it on 425.
Yeah. Let's actually wait. First, let's cover it first.
Okay, you want to cover it?
I'm going to cover it first, and then after we'll take it off. So it will.
It'll just cook the pasta a little bit better.
Exactly. And then we'll get a little bit of browning on the top with the cheese, which is the best way to eat anything with cheese on top, right?
Yeah.
You need to
have a little bubble and browning.
Yeah. So how's our pasta water? We are doing also at the very end a baked spaghetti, but because spaghetti can be a little.
Oh, in fact, let me put the spaghetti in there real quick.
Yeah, you can cook the whole thing.
Okay.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is something that if you have kiddos at home, it's so easy that they can help you make this. In fact, my kids would make this all the time. And it starts with some crescent rolls. And we're just going to do like a little ham and cheese. Does that always get you every time?
Yeah, I know.
We're going to do a ham and cheese roll up, which you can use as a meal. You can serve it with a little vegetable. You can serve it with some soup, something on a cold day. This would make a great addition to some soup or some chili, something that would be really, really yummy. And it's so easy. And this could also be a good breakfast. We've had these for breakfast before. So what I love is you can mix it up too. You don't just have to put ham and cheese in it. You can put something else like a sausage, some other different cheese, but we're going to use cheddar and we're going to use some Black Forest ham. I don't know about you, but Black Forest ham is my absolute
Yeah, I know,
favorite.
you love that.
I know. I'm always like, oh, Black Forest ham.
Do you want me to cut these up a little bit?
Yes, we're just going to really cut those in half.
Okay.
Same with the ham, because you don't need a whole lot in there to give it that, you know, like that appeal of...
Here's a leftover piece from my refrigerator. I don't think anyone was nibbling off of it, but I think my boys may have gone in and just like done this instead of using a knife.
Well, that's kind of like our, you know, one of the things that we really want to show you is how you can use something, you know, more than once. And so you're not buying food and wasting it and then it goes bad in the fridge. So we try to use as many of the same ingredients each show. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So we're gonna start
we did put what we just made with the ravioli. I was like, I've lost all my words. We're putting it in the oven at 425, and it is going to stay in probably about 20 minutes. But we're gonna watch it and take the tin foil off in a little bit.
Yeah, and once that you'll get a good feeling between like 20-25 minutes. If it starts bubbling, the best way to tell for a lasagna or something that you put in the oven is if you can see all the juices bubbling up a little bit, which kind of give you an idea that it's cooking in there and it's ready. Okay, so we've got a slice of our cheese and a slice of ham and just one of our crescent rolls. What's really nice is they cut it up for you. So I'm just going to put a slice of cheese in the middle and then a slice of ham on top. If you like a little bit more ham, you could certainly put a little bit more ham in there. We're just gonna roll it up.
So fun.
And then you have your little roll up. We're gonna use the pan, this baking sheet, and just line them up on the baking sheet. Like that.
Super cute.
So
You want to put this right?
let's make a couple more. So that way we can put in a full load and you can see what they look like. And this only takes about 20 minutes as well in the oven. About 400, 425. Again, just judge whatever you would use on your own, you know, with your own oven. So we're just gonna finish this up. And kids will love these. My kids love them actually. We serve them with a little side of mustard, some spicy mustard.
Yeah, Amber suggests pizza crescents are good too. Just use mozzarella and pepperoni, and then whatever topping sauce. That sounds lovely. I love anything in a crescent is just good.
Yeah, seriously. You just make the crescent roll and eat that.
Oh, Erica, she's needing a whole. I'm just putting it in the comments here. You can always find everything that we make and any ideas we have and any of the tools we use on kidsactivitiesblog.com. Just hit the Family Food LIIVE logo when you go to the front page, or I'm sending you the direct link right now in the comments. And everything's listed out because we know you're busy and you may not make it through the end of the show.
Yeah.
We live that life. We understand.
And you know, and sometimes just like in the course of us doing this show, we have found products that we absolutely love. So we share those in there with you too.
Yeah, Angie says she'd like to stay, but she has to finish the yard. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Come back and watch us.
Yeah, it'll be, and our videos are always on the Quirky Mama Facebook page if you just click on the video tab. And I feel like my pasta's over boiling over.
Our spaghetti is talking to us.
Yes.
Saying, we're ready.
Like, maybe not so high.
Yeah. Like, come on. Okay, so we're almost done here making our full batch. It looks like 8 come to in one of those containers.
So cute.
I know, and they're so good and really just the easiest thing in the world to make.
Yeah, Sandy says hi from Georgia, and Christina says it's so easy to make for the kids. I know.
Exactly.
And they can help too.
Exactly.
I remember that was one of the first things I learned to make when I was a kid was how to do the roll-ups.
Just to roll them up.
Because they don't have to be, like, they taste the same whether they're like actually beautifully rolled or not.
Yeah, exactly. That's the nicest thing, that they don't have to be perfect. Mine aren't, for sure.
So we're going to put this in at 425 just because we have the oven at that.
Yeah. We've kind of like overshot the oven just because we'll have so many things going in there and just to keep it consistent.
And then how long do those stay in for?
About 20 minutes. And again, those you'll be able to, you'll know when those are ready.
Yeah.
The cheese is melted and then the crescent's
because we already have something in the oven, I put that on a little bit higher shelf than I probably normally will. So I'm going to keep looking at it, and I may end up trading the shelves just because I don't think they'll last 20 minutes on the top shelf.
Yeah, no, that's true. They'll definitely cook faster.
Oh, Janelle says she's late. What are we making?
Oh, okay. We're doing 3 ingredient, very easy 3 ingredient dinner ideas. Because we know, trust me, we are both in the mix of back to school.
And busy lives. Well, I mean, we were busy before school started.
Yes, but now
it's a whole new level of chaos.
It's a whole new level of busy. And then, you know, you start, you know, baseball starts soon and scout starts. And then, you're back in a regular routine.
So anyway, you do not need to worry about dinner.
Yes.
Because that's just one more stress that we can take off your plate.
We got you
which
covered.
Is totally a food joke.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Well,
all right, so what's the next one?
We got in trouble when we did rap jokes.
Yeah, I know. We did a whole show on raps, and it was really bad jokes the whole time. You don't want to go back and watch that one.
Yeah. So, okay, so next we're going to do this really fun meal, and it could go in your oven, it can go on your grill. It's our campfire sausage and potato. Now we're varying it up a little bit today. I do have a recipe on burnt macaroni that I made a couple weeks ago on a Sunday. It was beautiful. We had the grill going, and just simple, easy. Put this together in your foil. So it's going to make about 4 recipes. 4 servings. I'm sorry. So I cut up some square, just a real simple square, because what you're going to do is you're going to just fold it together. It's almost like you're being, if you've ever gone camping, if you've ever been involved in scouts or something, you know that they do a lot of the food on the campfire, and this is why this is such an easy recipe, even if you're not putting it on a grill or a campfire and you're just putting it in your oven. Because all of these juices come together inside and you've got a 3-ingredient meal. Now there's other things you can do, but today, and there are other ingredients, like I usually use like regular red potatoes, but because it takes a lot longer to cook.
Yeah.
We're gonna use tater tots today.
And these are just the frozen kind.
Yes.
And obviously you could use potatoes or some other potato product if you didn't want to use the tater tots here.
Right. So we're gonna do tater tots and a turkey sausage, and I think we have enough that we could probably do a couple in there.
This fly does not show up until we do Family Food Live.
Seriously.
Like I literally have not seen the fly since last episode.
Yeah.
Which was like 5 days ago.
And it always knows when to come out.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This fly.
Yeah. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cut up the sausage into bite-sized pieces. Because really the whole idea of this campfire dinner is that you can just eat it without needing a knife to cut anything up. So we're just gonna we made these square sausage patties, and we're just gonna put them on top of the tater tots.
As a little foreshadowing, I just cooked just a whole package of spaghetti.
Right.
And so I'm gonna drain that because it's done now, and then I'm gonna set it back here because we're gonna use it in a little bit.
Yeah. So here we've got our sausage and our tater tots.
So
And
you see the steam.
yeah,
If I disappear,
we're not on
here.
fire. And we're gonna use some fresh green beans.
Not that being on fire is out of the question.
Yeah.
I'm totally expecting that to happen one day.
You just never know what's gonna happen. Okay, so we've got our tater tots, and they're frozen. They don't need to be cooked. They will cook just fine in here. We've got our sausage, and we've got some green beans, if you can see this. And we're gonna almost close it all the way up. See, it's almost all the way closed, but not quite. Because we still need to add our butter. We're using unsalted butter and 1 tablespoon for each one.
I love that Jenny heard the beep and went to check her microwave. I totally do that. There's
I
a
do
radio
that
commercial that has a telephone ring on it that's exactly like my ring, and every time that commercial comes on, I look down at my phone and I'm like, no!
Or the doorbell rings on TV.
Yes,
and you think it's
and
your
you're like
doorbell.
going to the door.
Yeah. So for this one, I'm gonna just season it with a little salt and pepper, but you can use like a Cajun seasoning, which really makes it hot, but make sure you don't go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Or some Greek seasoning. So we're gonna do a couple different variations of it. This one is just gonna be some salt and pepper, and then you see we've got our butter on top. See?
Yum!
Because the butter is gonna melt and it's gonna help in all the cooking.
Cooking it all up.
Yeah. So that's one. Now we can put it on a cookie sheet, or we can put it right in the oven.
I'm gonna
just
put it
like
right
that.
in the oven like this.
Okay, so I'm gonna make another version. So we can add some Cajun seasoning and some Greek seasoning.
Greg, if you want to bring that over here, we're gonna give you an update on what's going on in the oven here, and I'm gonna switch a few things around.
Okay.
So,
So we have some room.
yeah. So what I'm doing here is, you can see I had the, this is the ravioli casserole. This is the wraps, but I'm gonna put it on a lower shelf because it was just a little high there. And then this is where we put our first wrap. And yeah, we're calling that wraps today too. We're just gonna call it wraps.
So I'm gonna make another one of these.
I love how this has like the meat, the potatoes,
Yeah.
and the vegetables all in one
Well,
thing.
that's really, I mean, if you need just 3 ingredients, why not have a meat,
Yeah.
a potato or a starch and a veggie? And I love fresh green beans. I don't know that there's anything better.
I love green beans too, and these are ones that we just got out of the at the grocery store. They are fresh.
Awesome.
So Mary was asking about the kitchen. So it is my kitchen, and I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's perfect
It's
for
a
the
good
show.
kitchen.
Okay, so now we've got the Greek seasoning on this one.
Yeah.
And so that's going to give it all a different flavor, including the tater tots, because when you think about it, the tater tots really aren't seasoned with anything.
Right.
So it's nice to be able to season everything together. We'll close that one
And if
out.
you wanted to go with with just a regular potato, you just
Yeah.
need to cut.
Yeah.
You could pre-cook it a little bit, or like use a baked potato,
Right.
or just leave it in longer.
Right. And I will say there is a trick for cooking these and making them. Make sure that they're all cut fairly close in size. So if you're cutting up a red potato, each piece should be about the same size.
Otherwise, one's gonna be super cooked,
Yes.
and one of them's not so much cooked.
And yeah, and you know how long potatoes take if you're just grilling them or something.
Susan, all the recipes are on kidsactivitiesblog.com. I'll put the link in the thing. I know you don't have time to stay, and that's totally fine. This is a live show, and we get through 5 recipes in an hour, but that may not be quick enough for you. I totally get that.
Yeah, but you can watch it later.
Yeah, or you can fast forward after the fact.
Okay, this will be the last one I do since we have, we'll use one of each of the seasonings. And I've run out of green beans anyway, so. All right, so let's close this up. I'm gonna get some more butter. Yeah, just get about 1 tablespoon. And this is the unsalted butter. And then we'll do a little, not too much, little Cajun seasoning.
You can throw a ton of that in there for me.
I know. The only problem is with seasoning, you can never get that back. So we'll just try a little bit at a time. But the recipe does call for about a tablespoon for each the butter and the seasoning. So
all right, we've actually got this one done.
Yum.
And part of this was the brownness is a little bit of my fault for putting them on the top. I knew that was going to go quick.
No, I think
but it actually looks really good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put, we'll put this. She'll take some pictures. All the pictures that we take during the show today will end up on Kids Activities blog in that that blog post that I just linked that has all the resources and recipes that we use.
Yeah. I'll get it.
And I'll go back to your comments. Oh, Cheyenne, yeah, if we froze, then what you can do is just, and I know I always say, can they hear me if they froze? Is just go in and refresh the video. That happens periodically.
Yeah.
So our oven temperature right now, Christina, is at 425. But like that's because we're baking several things at once, and so we kind of just chose a temperature that all of them could be going at.
Yeah, we kind of chose like the highest temperature that we needed, which was 425. But these typically would go in about 400.
Right, and then the other part of that is we know we only have an hour with you guys, and so we're trying to get things through the oven so you can see the final product. So if you were just doing dinner, you might set it a little bit lower than 425, and these would probably not have cooked as quickly, but they would have been a little bit better all the way through.
Well, and also, I forget my train of thought. Don't you hate that?
Let me grab let's put these on a plate.
I will say though, I don't mind that these came out early or fast because, when you're cooking and the last thing you want is to be like looking at your watch the whole time and trying to say, where is it? Hurry up. So these look really yummy actually.
Yeah,
that cheese is melted perfectly.
Pull them off onto a plate.
Yeah.
And we can let them cool.
These would make a good lunch too for the kiddos.
Yeah, and my kids will eat these cold, so they're also something that they are willing to take in their lunches the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, who won't eat those? I know. I need to.
No, I just need to grab a whole.
Yeah. We don't want to burn anybody in front of.
Yeah, the goal is to not have a scar as a result. Yum. See, I even like that. I like them a little crunchy. Perfect.
All right. So you can see these lists look amazing. Super yummy.
Yeah, these are going to be really good. And I don't know if I mentioned on those campfire meals, about 20-25 minutes is generally the time for a regular potato. It won't take that long for the tater tots. Probably 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how crunchy you like your tater tots. I think everybody has a
tater tot level.
Yeah, has a vision of crunchiness on their tater tots.
So those are so good.
What's in there?
So Sarah says her grandkids are really picky, so they'll have to try these. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have picky kids, some of these are kind of things that we tried in our homes that really worked.
Yeah.
So actually today we're making 5 different meals with 3 ingredients, and they're all dinner meals that you can make that are super easy. What's so great about it is, like, if you have certain things in your pantry, you can substitute. It's not like an exact science on any of these.
Yeah.
And so these were black forest ham and cheddar cheese roll-ups. And we have a tortellini, what I would call lasagna almost, in the oven that we'll show you in just a little bit.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like kind of like a baked ravioli with cheese, and it's really good. And 3 ingredients. Now, keep in mind, these aren't the same 3 ingredients for each meal, but they're only 3 ingredients per meal.
Super easy.
Yeah, super easy, and cheese seems to be our
so
common thread.
What's the next one we're gonna do today?
Okay, the next one we're gonna do is actually a soup, and it's a tortellini soup.
Oh, I love that.
And this is something that would be good hot or cold, but we're gonna do it hot today. And I'm gonna bring over my soup pan, my big giant soup pan, which will hold just about everything you need. I'm gonna start with 4 cups of chicken stock. Doesn't work as good with the chicken broth, so if you are shopping...
I did figure that out this morning.
Okay.
I almost got chicken broth.
Oh, yeah, good, I'm glad you didn't. The chicken stock is gonna work much better with the chicken stock. Now this is gonna be a little spicy. If you like it spicy, we've got fire roasted diced tomatoes going in here. And you want to put everything in, not just the tomatoes, but you want to put the liquid in there too. And we've got 2 cans of it. And again, all of these ingredients and what you'll need with the exact measurements are on Kids Activities Blog.
And I just linked the link in the comments just not more than a minute ago.
So that's all you do for now. We're going to put it on the stove and we're going to let it come to a boil.
Awesome.
Yeah, so let's just put this right here. And it'll work its magic by itself. Let me see, is this the right one? Yeah. So we'll let that come to a boil. And then we're going to use one of my favorite kitchen tools. And this is probably our kitchen tool of the day. It's one of these hand mixers. And it mixes it. So we're going to puree kind of the tomato once it's cooked, along with the chicken stock.
Yeah, and if your kids are picky, a lot of times it's a texture issue versus a taste issue. Yeah. So trying some of your tried and true recipes with a puree or something like that can sometimes sneak some things in that they wouldn't have eaten otherwise.
Yeah, like with these roll-ups, they might not know there's ham in there. They just see the cheese, you know? So I mean, it's kind of like a nice way to say, hey, try this. In fact, I will say my daughter, who did a lot of the Monday shows with me, we tried a couple things on the Monday show, and she ended up loving them. Yeah. And she now takes it all to school with her. So
that's great.
You know, you just never know what they're gonna like until you let them try it. So. Okay, so we've got a couple things cooking now. We'll start on our spaghetti. Why not,
that sounds great. You have I'll give you the rules.
I have a feeling what's going to happen is everything's going to kind of come out on its own anyway.
Yeah.
So
that's always how it works.
Yeah. Okay, so now this one, we don't need the oven as hot as it is right now, but we'll just keep an eye on it and make sure that it doesn't overcook. But you can't really, I mean, with the spaghetti, it's hard to really ruin this one. Right?
I know, spaghetti's easy.
Spaghetti's easy. So we're doing another one of these baking dishes. I only had one 9x13, so I brought this one. It's a little bit smaller, but that's okay. Because you could make more than one if you wanted to, or you can just make whatever you've got, and then you can have some leftover spaghetti, which I think is always a good thing too. The trick about spaghetti, if you're not going to use it, put a little olive oil in it so it doesn't stick. And that way you...
And the other thing is if you're making something for kids, one of the easy things to do is use a pair of kitchen scissors to cut it ahead of time so that they don't have like this in their mouth.
Now can we take this out, because I need to really mix the spaghetti with the sauce.
Absolutely. Do you want to put it in the big pan?
Yeah, if you want to, or if you have a bowl, it doesn't matter.
That'll work.
So we really only need about 1.5 cups. So I'll just pour about half of this, let's see. We're just gonna mix this right in with the spaghetti. Because you know how great spaghetti looks when it's already got the sauce mixed in. And if you have like something we can mix them with. I feel like I have failed you today in my my utilities.
I was gonna say I have that.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
So we'll just mix together the spaghetti with the sauce, and that's just gonna make sure that all of our spaghetti is covered. Because you just want it to be covered with the sauce.
I'll bring that in so you can see it.
Yeah, I love, man, my kids I know especially, they would just eat this pot, you know, for dinner every night.
You wouldn't have to do anything more to it.
Yeah, but sometimes you want to do something a little different with your spaghetti so it's not the same meal. So that's why we're going to bake it with some cheese.
Yeah, Carrie says she cooks her spaghetti with olive oil. I do that too a lot of times. In fact, I went in to look for it and I didn't find it. I just reorganized my pantry. I can't find anything.
That's
now.
why you can't find it.
I can find it for you.
No, I know. It's no big deal. It's already done.
Yeah, we've already got it covered. Covered with the spaghetti sauce.
Oh, Brooke says my husband says he hates zucchini, and the other day I made zucchini and banana bread, which he was eating, thinking it was banana. Texture is key. It's so true.
I agree.
My kids all have a little bit of sensory issues going on, but texture is one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
And we just thought they were like super picky eaters until we realized that they'll eat the flavor, it's just not in that texture.
Exactly. That's why a lot of people don't eat avocados. Because that texture,
I love that texture.
I do too. But that's why my husband doesn't eat it. My husband has a color issue too. He doesn't like anything white, green. Yeah. No, he doesn't like anything white like mayo or sour cream.
Oh, that's so
I don't think it's a color thing. I think it's, I'm acting like it's a color thing.
Thank you.
So we're gonna also add a little cheese in here because we want to mix it together with the cheese.
Oh, thanks, Christy. Christy just says, I love your LuLaRoe shirt.
Yeah, see?
So I'll put it, if you're interested in LuLaRoe, I do that in a group, and I'll put the link in there in just a second.
Okay, has it been 20 minutes yet on that?
No,
bake?
but I will look.
Just checking. I lose track of time so easily in this hour that it's hard for me to keep up. Okay, so we just added the shredded mozzarella cheese right into the sauce and the spaghetti. And now that way you have the nice cheese melting in the spaghetti. I didn't do a whole lot. I could probably do a little bit more. What did I do with my cheese? It's probably right in front of me.
I'm going to check on it in just a second, though, just to be sure.
Now this is another great recipe that if you want, you can add some meat to it, some hamburger meat. I would definitely cook it first. Brown your meat first before you would put it in the spaghetti. Okay, so now I'm gonna add this to our pre-greased baking dish. See, it's already got that cheese already in the middle of it, so it's gonna melt right inside. Oh yeah, I forgot our campfire stuff's in there too.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so you see how we're just gonna put our spaghetti and our sauce and our cheese already in the pan.
All right, I'm going to take this tin foil off of...
Perfect, it's bubbling right now.
I'm going to show you just real quick, and I don't want to burn you, but so it's real bubbly, and it's just starting to get like anything was touching the tin foil, so I'm going to just put it back in.
So now you're just gonna wait and watch just for a few more minutes to make sure the cheese on top is kind of browned in a sense.
And then I'm going to stir what you have on the stove here.
That's about enough.
Because it's heating up here too.
Okay, good. We don't need a full boil, so just as long as it's getting close to a boil.
I think we're there.
Okay. Well, do we want to get this one, should we get this one in the oven?
Yeah, that would be great. Is that what we need to do next?
Yes, we'll need to put this one in the oven too. So I'm going to put some more cheese on top.
There's something going. has a high pitched sound. Okay.
It's convection.
Oh, okay, cool. I keep thinking there's a fan on, but it's a convection fan. Do you need another one, or is that good?
That's good.
All right.
You just want to kind of sprinkle. But here we can add like a mixture of cheese. We're going to do kind of 2 versions. So
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So we'll do the mozzarella, and then we're going to do a little shredded Mexican cheese.
Which is really just a blend of like Monterey,
Yeah.
cheddar, and the quesadilla, and
Yeah, these are perfect for
yeah,
tacos.
it's just like 2 mild white cheeses.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to just put this in the oven and let it cook until the cheese melts because the spaghetti's already cooked.
Awesome.
So that shouldn't take very long. We'll move this off to the back. Okay, should we take this
Yeah.
off?
Do you want to pull it over here?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna just set this up here on the cutting board for you.
Okay, perfect.
And do you need? Is it hot? Do you need?
Yeah.
Let me get you something else.
A little hot.
This one is one that doesn't have. There's one of my hot pads that has a hole in it, which is so dumb because then you're like, ouch.
Yeah. Well, you know, there are some pans that you can touch that don't, burn you. And there are some that do.
All right, guys, we're making. We have today on Family Food Live. We're making 5 different family dinner recipes that use 3 ingredients or less. You can find all the recipes for everything we do over on kidsactivitiesblog.com, and I'll link it in the comments in just a minute. And so this one is a tortellini soup. And
Yes.
so we have several things all in progress, and
Right.
we'll bring them out one by one from here on out.
Yeah, because I think at one point we're just going to have like 5 meals sitting in
Yeah.
front of us. Okay, so what this is, we've already kind of heated up some spicy tomatoes and some chicken stock. So let me make sure. So now I'm just going to, it's going to probably make a mess, but what we want to do is just get the tomatoes all kind of we don't want spicy, or we can have some spicy tomatoes, so maybe I won't go crazy over this because I'm making a mess here. So, but this also kind of mixes together the tomato with the chicken stock. See how we're getting kind of like a tomato soup almost?
It looks really, really good.
Okay, so we
And
don't
the
like...
roasted tomatoes, I like using the roasted tomatoes in this because it has that little bit of fire roasted,
Yeah.
like kind of black edges to the tomatoes.
Right.
And you can smell that fire roasted
Yeah.
now that it's in the soup.
Yeah, and so we don't make a complete mess, I think we're going to leave some of them chunky, but I think it would be good.
I think it will be good too.
So I'm not
and this
gonna...
is where you could go a full puree if that's going to go over better at
If
your
that's
house.
better for you, you can puree it, you can take the time and not worry about making such a huge mess. We're going to do cheese tortellinis.
And these are my favorite. They're made by Rana, R-A-N-A. I find them in the deli section where the fresh pastas are. And I would eat at least a bag a week.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And these are good just by themselves.
Yeah.
And you can just add spaghetti sauce to it or something.
So we've used these before in salads. Just
Yeah.
cook them, and I like them with just some tomatoes and fresh mozzarella and a little bit of balsamic glaze. Or you could do traditional pasta things with just a pasta sauce. I like it with pesto. That's my favorite. I'll eat that with just a little bit of pesto, and that's like dinner. It's easy.
So
and
we're actually going to put this back on the stick.
the kids will also, the cool thing about those is like, I can have several different toppings and they can just choose which one they want to put on top of it.
So this is going to cook for another 3 or 4 minutes just to make sure the tortellinis are cooked. Because they don't really take very long, and especially when they're boiling in that spicy tomato, the roast.
Used, and these are just canned, diced, fire roasted tomatoes. If you wanted this to go spicy, which I love, you could definitely do a rotel.
Yeah.
Or what I've done before with rotel too is dilute rotel with another type of tomatoes, can or two, depending on how spicy you want it. my family would eat like the full-on rotel.
Yeah.
So
See, I have a little different situation at home. My kids don't like it spicy. My husband and I do.
Yeah.
So I don't know that they would have this, but they do like the tortellinis, and so that makes a really nice meal.
Yeah, and so if you want to go with like no heat at all, you could just go with just the regular Italian diced tomatoes or something.
Yeah,
like that.
you don't have to have it spicy. You just want the tomatoes to give it that rich red color, because I think tomato soup, especially once we start getting into the fall,
yeah,
tomato soup is so good.
Yeah, so Angie was asking about the fire. No, you can use any kind of tomato product. Like you could use, because we're just basically putting tomatoes into the soup with that fire roasted. Right. So if you have a special kind of diced tomatoes you like, or you make them yourself, dice them up and put them in there.
Yeah,
it's all good.
And the whole idea is that because we're using the chicken stock, we're making a soup. So, but you can make a regular spaghetti sauce and use diced tomatoes. Right. And then it's just a little bit thicker. It's a different meal.
Oh, let me see. I bet this is done.
Yeah. Aha! In fact, a couple of them might be ready to come out.
Yeah. This one's definitely done.
Yum!
All right, so why don't, for those of you who just joined us, why don't you explain what we did?
Okay, the 3 ingredients that we used was marinara sauce. Then we used some frozen cheese raviolis. Then we just used mozzarella cheese. And we layered it. We started with the sauce on the bottom, then put a layer of the raviolis, and then a layer of cheese, and we did it again. Good try. So there you have like a dinner, and what I love about a one-pan meal is you just put it right on the dining room table or the kitchen table, and everybody just picks from it. And it's perfect.
Yeah, and this is going to be an easier one to serve than even lasagna, because you have those little squares. We have just a little bit of tin foil sticking on here. I thought we'd get off for the picture.
Yeah, so you can just cut them up in the ravioli square, or 2 squares, depending on, my kids would probably want more than 1 square. And if you want to take some parsley, you can sprinkle some parsley on top to give it some color. Let's do that. I love fresh parsley. Woo, especially with the color, how great the color it makes it look.
Yeah, I wish you guys could smell it. Stephanie's like, looks so good. It smells amazing, and this is something super, like, literally took us, 5 minutes at the most to assemble this, 3 ingredients, and then just cooked it for about 20 minutes. And that's variable too. Like, you could leave it in for a little bit longer, especially if you turn the oven down, or you could, do it even quicker if you watched it. Started it in the microwave, that kind of thing.
Okay. I think we got enough.
All right, so the next one we have finished is the...
Why don't you pass that to me before you bring it?
Okay. You want to take this one? Can you get it without getting burned?
Yeah. All right, so now this is the baked spaghetti, which is just super easy.
I mean, look how easy it is, and you have a different spaghetti meal.
Yeah. So yum. And that smells good too.
And you got the cheese on top and the cheese mixed in, and it's just a spaghetti meal. You can serve it with a salad or a vegetable, but it was simple 3 ingredients.
So all the pictures that Chris is taking will go onto the blog post on kidsactivitiesblog.com that has all these recipes and ideas all in one place. And I'll link it in the comments again, but you can always just go to kidsactivitiesblog.com and just look for the Family Food Live logo, and it's always there on our show days.
Yeah.
And usually not. Yeah, we're usually on the front page, because
you can find us.
That's what you do when you run the site.
Exactly. When you're in charge.
But one thing we need to mention today before we forget is that we will be at Pinner's Conference live, like we are here, and in person, which we are not here, on September 9. And it's the Dallas Pinners Conference. You can go to pinnersconference.com and look for us. The tickets are really inexpensive. You can get even more money off of it by using our coupon code, which is Family Food, all one word, Family Food. And then sign up to come join us on Friday at noon, our regular show time. And we would love to see you in person.
We would love to be able to cook in front of you. We're going to be live on our normal slot, so you'll still see us if you live out of town.
Right. But it would be really good if you were there. And so I will link link that in the comments as well so that you can just go straight there if you want to. But pinnersconference.com has all the information, and it's the Dallas location that we're going to be at.
Yeah, and I mean, how much fun is it just to walk
gonna be
through
so
like
much.
Pinterest? It's almost like going and walking through Pinterest.
Yeah, and in fact, there's over 100 classes.
Yeah.
We're just one of many,
Yeah.
but we're fun.
Yeah, and I will tell you, we're also going to be doing some easy dinner recipes for you. So we've got 5 recipes already planned out, and it's going to be easy dinners that will help get you through the school year and above and beyond that.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like this.
Did you get pictures of
I
that?
did get pictures.
Okay, I'm
of
gonna move this, and then I'm gonna bring out the next one.
Yes. Let's
Are
bring
you gonna
out.
do this one?
Yeah, that one has been about 3 or 4 minutes.
It really has. Those
Yeah.
look nice and puffy.
Yeah, they do. Okay. Yeah, and we can get a bowl. Do you want to get a bowl? And
Yeah.
we can.
In fact, let's do that. Let me grab a bowl.
Yeah, you can scoop out a bowl because that really didn't take very long. It took maybe a total of what, 15 minutes?
Or less.
Yeah. And so you have this beautiful tortellini, and now again you can use it as a soup, which is so yummy. And if you want to use more than 3 ingredients, you can maybe add a little bit of shredded cheese on top or some parsley. But look how yummy that looks.
So good.
And then-
I would love like a little bit of open, like a open toasted cheese spread or something like
Yes.
that next to it. It'd be so good.
That is awesome. And I
So
kind of like it a
yummy.
little chunky because then you get to taste the tomatoes.
Okay, so what went into the tortellini soup?
Really simple. We used 4 cups of chicken stock. We used 2 cans of these fire roasted diced tomatoes.
Basically, any 2 cans of
Yeah.
diced tomatoes will
Right.
work.
Right. And we boiled it up. We boiled up the tomatoes and the chicken stock just to kind of get those flavors combined. We used this crazy little hand mixer
To
and
just puree it a little bit.
puree it a little bit so that way it's a red color, and kept a few of those tomatoes chunky, so you can kind of have like a little bit of thickness to it, and then added some cheese tortellinis for a few extra minutes on the
Super
stove.
easy.
And then here you
Super
have a
duper
wonderful fall, especially in the fall or winter, a great soup meal. And you can even serve it with some of
In
your,
fact, these would be
Yeah.
great next to it.
yeah.
So
Serve
these
it
were
with
the
that.
ham and cheese roll-ups,
Yeah.
and all of these recipes are on kidsactivitiesblog.com, and I'll put it in the comments
There were
again.
a couple of more.
Yes.
It made, I think, 8 of them.
I think somebody's been eating them off camera. All right, I'm gonna grab the other.
Okay, let's do our campfire
Yeah.
sausage and potatoes.
Here, do you want to how we cook these? These we cooked in these little 1 serving tinfoil bags. So I'm just gonna grab one of them and we'll open up.
Yeah, let's see which one this is.
And
So by now, of course, the butter is melted, and the green beans are cooked
ooh, yummy.
to perfection, and so are the tater tots. Again, you can add a little parsley to the top. You can add a little salt and pepper, but you can serve it like when we had these. We literally served these. Were on our dinner table, and you take a fork and you can just eat out of this.
So remind them what is in here, just so they know how easy this is to
So
make.
yeah, and it's so easy. We have a handful of tater tots, frozen. We had some turkey sausage that we cut up into bite-sized pieces, but again, that was already cooked. And then the green beans on top. We added a tablespoon of unsalted butter, and then a different seasoning for each one. We made 3 different ones. We made a Cajun seasoning one, which is going to be real spicy. Greek seasoning, which is another one that gives you a little bit more kick, but not as hot as Cajun, and then just salt and pepper on the 3rd one. So.
And if you would rather use, just some potatoes, just plain old potatoes or something like that, you could do that too. You just would need to leave them in a little bit longer than we did today. We had those in for about 20 minutes, maybe not quite that long.
And when I first made this, and you can go to Burnt Macaroni and you can see, I made this on the grill instead of in the oven. And it was just on high, about 20-25 minutes, and really depending on if you like it a little crispy. Because we let it go a little bit longer so the skin on the potato, kind of got nice and crunchy and crispy.
Nice.
And so, yeah. And
That sounds amazing.
It's an easy, it's almost like a 1-pan meal, but it's in foil.
Yeah,
It's
so
3 ingredients.
they're asking about the tots if they're mushy. So these tots are a little bit mushy because we only bake them for about 18 minutes.
Yeah,
but
they
if
could
you
go
left
out a
them
little
in for
longer.
a lot longer, they would get better. And you're not going to hurt the green beans by doing
Yeah.
that. And then the turkey sausage was already cooked.
Yeah.
They want to see a little closer if possible.
Oh. Yeah, and we'll leave those other ones in, and right before we go, we'll let you see what the difference is. We just wanted to make sure that you didn't miss this at all.
So Angela was asking about the Pinners Conference, if they're doing it anywhere else. There are 4 locations across the country that Pinners goes, and Dallas is the one that's closest to us.
Right.
But it is a 2-day event with over 100 classes, like completely worth the drive if you're
Yes.
anywhere close
Anywhere
to
near
the
us.
vicinity. And we're going to be just at the Dallas one.
Right.
So
Do you know
we're
where the other ones are?
I know one's in Utah, I think one is in Georgia, and I think the other one is in the Northeast, but I'm not sure where.
Yeah, there is a list if you go to the
So
website.
pinnersconference.com
Yeah.
is where you can find that.
Yeah, and I think they actually list it by location.
Yeah, in fact, when you first get to it, you'll have to choose which location you want to go to.
Yeah, so that's easy to find
So,
it.
like we said, everything's on kidsactivitiesblog.com. I'm going to put it back in the comments right before we sign off. And
Right.
Chris will be back on Friday. Do you know
Yes.
what you're doing on Friday?
I am going to do recipes in a bag.
Oh, fun.
So, that's a little
You're
tease.
doing fun stuff while I'm gone.
I know, I thought about it because I plan out the week and then I always forget, oh wait, which days should I do that? And they kind of just come to me the week of. So if you'd like, I can hold it off for you.
Oh, Phoenix is the 4th location.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so that's not too far either. So, but yeah, no, you can do it. I will not be with her on Friday, and that's one of the reasons why you really want to like the page Burnt Macaroni, and I'll link it and I'll tag it just a second so you can go over there and like it, because she'll be broadcasting on Friday Family Food Live from Burnt Macaroni and then sharing it to Quirky Mama. So you don't get as many notifications that way.
Yeah, exactly. So if you like it, if you like me already,
If you
can
like
find
us, come on over.
Just come like us.
Please. But anyway, we've had a lot of fun with you today.
Yeah.
We hope we've inspired you to get dinner on the table at some point soon
Yeah.
for your family. And she'll be back on Friday, and we'll be back together on next Wednesday on
yes.
Quirky Mama. So
Yeah.
thanks so much for joining us.
Have a great day.
Bye.